you've just bought a young apple tree and it's got 3 or 4 limbs coming out of it, and you think, well, 3 or 4 varieties on that apple tree may not be a bad idea. So we're dealing with something about this size, up to perhaps twice as big as that. And this graft is called a whipped tongue graft. So we'll assume it's a seedling. You've grown a seedling that's where seedlings come up in your compost heap or something. Our cut is virtually a straight cut, nice and smooth. We want it to finish in one cut. And about 1/3 of the way down from the end, we put a tongue in it. All right. Now we take our sign. You're going to be tested on this later. Whipped tongue. And we do the same thing. And this is where my poor knife lets me down. What happened to our stock? And we join the two. Now, because our barks are, of course, roughly the same thickness, we can, in this case, match the outside. We'll assume that the bark on both of them is the same thickness. All right? So we can match the outside. Now you can't match it perfectly, of course. They're not going to be identical dimensions. So we'll make sure we match one side of the bark, because we know that, and it won't match all the way down, but if it matches in some of the way down, that's enough to get things started. We went through a bit of problem with how to actually go about this, because when you get a knife on the sharp side, your technique is perhaps a bit important. And don't laugh, because once you have a go, you'll feel nervous. It's important that you hold it. All right, there's the correct way to do it is that you hold it, your bit you're trying to cut, stock or sign, hold it as firm as you can with your thumb behind it. You always make the cut on the opposite side of a bud, because there's a little bit more cell activity there. That makes sense. And cut towards yourself. Now, you've got to approach this pretty seriously, because you're making a pretty good cut. You do have to approach it like you mean to, and not be scared that you're going to take the top off your thumb. All right, so, all right, we've done our graft. Now our follow-up was to make it firm and to seal it. And probably the best material for that, if you can get it, is this budding tape. Some of you might be familiar with it. It goes on so tightly that it seals, and if we stretch it when we put it on, then it's going to hold that very, very firm. If you have a bit of a wriggle now of the actual graft, you'll see that union now is fairly firm. Only two things we've got to do. We've got to hold the graft firm, we've got to seal it. All the graft, all the cut areas, we've got to seal. That's all we've got to do, however we do it. That's the easiest way. If you had to do 1,000 in a day, that's what you'd be looking to do.